start in 2 more minutes. Hey Hunter, thank you for joining me again. One more minute.
Power on.
All right, it is 9 o'clock. So I'm not going to prolong this word. I've been sitting on this dream for probably a week now. I had the dream on the 9th. I posted it and then I took it down. But the obsession has become an addiction. Y'all been seeing me talk about obsession a lot, and this stuff has been really, really coming to pass. I'm going to re-upload a lot of videos that's relevant to this as well. But people are trying to add a session because it's your name. Now, people can be infatuated with you in many different ways. It ain't just about sexual activity and all of that. That makes it worse. But they can be obsessed and become an addict to you in other different ways. The way you talk, the way you dress, the way you say stuff, your name. If they hear your name, they flaring up. It could be any type of way. So oftentimes when an obsession turns into an addiction, that's when things really, really get heavy and heated to the point where you got to put a restraining order on people, or to the point where you got to get the law involved because this person can't seem to let you go, or they so infatuated with you that they want to kill you. So those types of people not only deal with mental illness, but they deal with a sense of rejection. So when people are coming after you and they say, oh, well, I want you, and I want to be with you, and all that stuff, and then when they can't have you, they doing all types of other crazy stuff and acting foolish because they want you, but you don't want them. So a form of rejection can turn into obsession. Then it can turn into an addiction. So let's get into these dreams. I'm going to share some dreams that ties in with this. I'm going to be interpreting a dream with a dream. I had a series. I don't know if God gonna have me to bring that series back, but I was literally interpreting dreams with a dream. It was very, very cool. But I'm be doing this as well with this, so you can get the revelation. So I'm going to be sharing 2 dreams that I remember off the bat. I can't remember the other one, but it ties in with this as well. Hey Marcus, thank you for joining me. So this is what I put. I said when people do things on your birthday, they are very much obsessed with you. And in this dream, people was doing stuff on my birthday, and I couldn't understand it. And I'm like, what the world is going on? So when people do things on your birthday, if they find out about an important date, whatever it is, they try to beat you to the punch on your birthday or this special day, so the light can be shined on them. Like, it's so crazy, man. I ain't never seen nothing like it. So let's get into these dreams, yo. All right, layer 1. I was sitting minding my business like always, and someone I know who's in a relationship as of now came off social media to sit in the car with me. He was confessing his feelings to me, loving on me. The dream switched. We end up on a beach, and he asked me to marry him because he was tired of running from me. Now, with this, when a man or a woman get into another relationship, it is because they're covering up their feelings for you. They don't want to make it seem as if they are obsessed with you. They're infatuated with you. They got an addiction for you. They don't want to confess none of those things. So guess what they gonna do? They gonna get in another relationship to cover all of these things up. Now this man is in a relationship, but he's not happy. So this dream only confirms that I still be on this man's brain. So he jumped into a relationship, but in the dream he was confessing his feelings. Now, when a person is confessing their feelings in the dream, they're not confessing it to you in your face. Like, they can be sitting in your face all day. They can be around you, but they ain't telling you how they feel about you. They ain't expressing nothing. God's going to show the real them in the spiritual realm. Or you're going to be with them and you're going to be picking up stuff that they're saying about you. And so sometimes when people get into a relationship with somebody else, it is because they have become an addict to you, or they have an obsession for you, but they don't know how to express these things. Now, you often hear people say when they get in a relationship with a person, I want this person to be obsessed with me. But do you really want this person to be obsessed with you? You have to watch your words, because when a person become obsessed with you, they be want to kill you if they can't have you. You got to watch what you're saying. They will become jealous. So you have to watch your words, because that person can become an addict to you. This is why y'all hear me talk about the cat. I don't know why I be trying to say cow, but the cat and mouse method. You have to play these roles in your relationship, because it starves things like obsession and addiction, because you're making that person come into self-discipline. You're not giving them everything that they want. You're teasing them. You're making them crave all of that. You're giving them a challenge. But if you don't do that, and this person become obsessed with you, they gonna want to be around you at all times. It's like they gonna be on you like a leech, meaning you ain't gonna be able to do nothing without that person being by your side. And that's dangerous, because that causes trust issues. That causes a person to not really trust you in different rooms and all this. They want to be there at every waking moment, and it shouldn't be like that. So someone somewhere is in a relationship that they don't want to be in, but because they so obsessed with you and possibly have an addiction for you, they go cover it up with their relationship. Now this person asked me to marry him because he's tired of running from me. Now, when he get tired of running from me, I'm probably gonna be married again. Why is that? Because oftentimes when people see that, okay, I can't get there, I'm in love with this person, I can't get this person off my mind, whatever the case may be, it's gonna be too late. You have been found you somebody else gonna been a came along and just swept you off your feet, and they gonna be sick in all caps. Because instead of them confessing and saying, well, I love you and I'm in love with you and all this stuff, they gonna get in a relationship to cover it up. That's what people do. So someone is adding a session because it's your name. Now, what does this mean? Hey, Dime, thank you for joining me again. Hey, Pastor Gay, thank you for joining me. What does this mean? When a person is added a session because it is your name, they still want to be in your midst. If they got to come around you for anything, if they just got to call to hear your voice, that means that they are obsessed and you have become a drug to them. Now I'm going to talk about, I think this was fasting with the bedroom. I'm still getting my parts together with this. It's roughly 9 parts. Well, it's 8 parts now because I already got one out there. I'll probably re-upload that as well. But I'm going to talk about how a person make you their rehab. Meaning you are so much of a drug to them that they have to rehab off you. So that word is going to be very, very deep. Very, very deep. But there's so much of an addict to you that they can't function without you. So being that this person is in a relationship, being that this person is accompanying somebody else, they're trying to do that to get over me. And that ain't going to work. It ain't going to work until you deal with yourself and say, well, I'm in love with this person. I love them. You got to really voice this stuff. So somebody in a relationship, they think, oh, well, I got my person. But your person ain't even with you. Your person is connected to somebody else. You might got the body, but you ain't got the spirit. You ain't got the heart. You ain't got the soul. That stuff lingering somewhere else. You might be getting the sex, but you ain't got the brain. So all of that, they think that they have what they need, but they don't. So somebody somewhere, they in a relationship, they covering up. They don't want to admit their feelings or none of it. So they run. So oftentimes when they run, they're going to try to find their way back to you. It's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. God going to be to send you your destiny partner. Going to be to send you your replacement. Going to be to send you, well, whoever's supposed to be in your life because they didn't do right. All right. So let me get into some of these notes. Hey, Sister Vashay, thank you for joining me. Well, that's all I know how to do is speak the truth. You can't walk in freedom without truth. All right. So when the obsession becomes an addiction, not only is it a intense fixation, but it is a addiction that changes the preference of a behavior. So this is where you got to understand the shift. Now I want to flow in the arena of the prophetic for a little bit, not much. But I'm going to flow in the prophetic for a little bit because I'm going to talk spiritual. Hey, Brother Machias, thank you for joining me. When you understand the shift of what your body is picking up, that's when you begin to shift. That's when you begin to say, okay, I feel that this person is becoming more of an obsession for me than really enjoying me. So now you got to pull back, or you got to study this person or pay attention to their behavior and how they're doing things. Now, oftentimes, when a child doesn't get what they want, guess what they do? They get mad. You tell them no, they get mad. I don't care about hurting my children's feelings, because you ain't getting everything. I don't care how much money I got. I don't care where we at. We in the store. You ain't getting nothing, because that ain't what we here for. So, they will get mad. And I don't care. You big mad or you little mad. Because you ain't finna spend all my money. So, they get mad. Because you didn't buy them no chips. You didn't buy them no toys. You didn't buy whatever. That stuff gonna blow over. They'll get over it. They'll be okay. It's the same way when you are in a relationship with someone or you're with someone. You often see that, okay, well, this person is not giving me what I want. I'm telling you, I'm a different breed. I'm a wine and dine. I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do, baby. But boy, when I come up off you, you're gonna be sick. And I always have a set time where I'll come up off you. So me being prophetic or me being spiritual, that helps me. Like, okay, the Lord be like, shift, go another way, move another way. So this is where they start looking for you. They start stalking you and all that, because you're no longer doing what it is that you was doing before. So how do you understand the shift? It's the root changes. This is so the person won't become obsessed with you. Once you start understanding how to shift and switch, then that means that you're putting your boundaries in place. You're disciplined. You got self-discipline. You're not really stimulating them like that. So they're going to crave for you more often than not. It's not going to be an obsession, but they're going to crave for everything that you have. They're just like when you get finished getting busy with a person, they following you all around the house. Why they following you all around the house? Because of the chemistry and because of what you all was doing. So now they still want to get busy. But you're not doing it anymore because you feel that, okay, well, we keep on doing this or whatever the case may be, then it ain't going to be no excitement in it. It's the same way where you're in a relationship, partnership, business, whatever it is. You understand the shift that if I don't set boundaries and set disciplines in this area, then this person going to feel like, you know, they can be around me anytime that they want. Which brings me to being accessible. You're too open. You're too accessible. You're always available. That's not good. You got to make people crave for everything that you have. So, once the brain chemistry and the dopamine start rushing and all of that, that stimulates them to become obsessed and become an addict. Because your dopamine is a high. That's all it is. Once it's the rush to your brain, you be on cloud 9. But that stuff fades. It goes away. After you get finished getting busy, that stuff don't last that long. The feeling be gone. It lasts probably about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Then it's gone. So that's how people become an addict to sex. Because of the thrill and what they felt. So guess what? They go humping on everybody else thinking they're going to get the same feeling that they got from you. And it ain't going to be so. And that's how they become obsessed. So you got to understand the shift. You got to understand the chemistry of what is taking place. All right, layer 2. Yes, energy vampires. I'm going to be teaching on that again as well. I taught on that last year. I had so many videos. Sometimes they be energy vampires stealing and draining your energy. Absolutely. That's exactly what happened. So, oftentimes, when people become energy vampires, they come because they want your energy. That's why I do a lot of hiding. Because my energy is magnetic. I just can't sit around people or be around people because people draw to me like honey, like for real, like if people be it's scary sometimes. So that's why I be doing a lot of hiding. And so oftentimes when people see that stuff, they become obsessed. They really become obsessed with what it is that you bring off. So it don't have to be with sexual encounters. It could just be your presence. It could just be you. So the obsession has become an addiction. You sure right about it. You got to be careful who you touch and who you let touch you. So true. That is so true. All right, layer 2. I saw this guy working on a truck, and it was a brown looking car, and it was an 11-year-old. The 11-year-olds were cranking the car up, getting ready to drive off. I ran to jump on the hood and pulled the little boy out the car. As soon as I snatched him, a train smashed the car. Now I'm going to go a different arena with this. And you're probably saying, well, what does obsession have to do with this? A lot. Because oftentimes, people can be obsessive of killing, or it could be obsession of death. All that stuff. If I would have never paid attention to that little boy messing with that car, he would have got killed. But I so happened looked up and saw him cranking up the car and was getting ready to drive the car off. And you know how crazy this is? Something recently just happened like this. It was 2 little boys, but they was like 6 years old or 5 years old, and they ran a woman over and killed her. And when I went back and looked at that dream, it's similar, but it's not the same thing, but it's similar. But stuff like that, I saw it floating on social media. And I thought, I'm gonna go pull it up. I got to go find it. But the lady was, I guess, minding her own business, and the little boy stole the car. That type of stuff. So in this dream, the guy was working on the truck, but he wasn't paying attention to the car. So that means that it was a parent or a guardian or something that had an 11-year-old, but they was cranking the car up, getting ready to drive the car off. But I jumped on the hood and pulled the little boy out the car. As soon as I pulled him out, the train smashed the car. So y'all see what's going on with that. There's an addiction for blood. I try not to even say it, but there's an addiction for blood. Like a lot of blood sacrificing is happening. And if you look at this in the realm of how God is using people at large, everybody is being used in the world. So the enemy got to use them too. He got to get some type of something. He got to get some type of soul to do something that they ain't got no business doing. So this dream, it really wraps up not so much an obsession, but it's like the enemy is after blood. That's I can just put it like that. The addiction for blood, to kill. And then it's with young people. So you want to understand the shift of keeping your children covered, protecting them, shielding them, and keeping your eyes on them every time they do something. Or even if you feel like, do you pick your children up in the spiritual realm? I do. I can be in my room and I know they doing something they ain't got no business, and I'll call it out, or I text one of the phones and be like, all right now, yeah, I better stop doing what you're doing in there. And everybody be looking crazy because I done picked them up in the spiritual realm. So I don't have to be in their presence. If they doing something they ain't got no business at school, I can feel it. Because this happened before. I went up to the school, and I think this happened last year. I went up to the school, and they know that I don't come up to the school like that for nothing. I said, one of my kids, they doing something they ain't got no business. And sure enough, that's what was going on. I picked it up at home. So it's stuff like that. You got to pick your children up in the spiritual realm. How in tune are you with that person or your children? When you are in tune with the person, you're going to know everything that they do. That's why people be running from me. That's why they be running from me, because I be in tune with people. So you got to really pray and keep your children covered. All right. I'm going to go ahead and break these layers down, because I really got to teach the way God wants me to teach. Alright. This is where we talk about the birthday. This layer 3. I saw someone I know throwing an event on my birthday. They asked me to come to the event on my birthday. They asked me to buy food for the event on my birthday. I said, no, this is my day. They got mad and tried to put witchcraft on me on my birthday. And I said, oh, it's more. But I'm going to go into that in a few minutes. Now, literally, on my birthday, somebody asked me for money on my birthday. Like, this stuff was really going on. What? This is my birthday. I'm not going to give you no money on my birthday. You crazy. You can give me some money. But it's stuff like that. So, when the person tried to put witchcraft on me on my birthday, in the dream, the person tried to put witchcraft on me on my birthday. That stuff was crazy. It's like, I don't know, the dream switched, and we was like in this park setting or something. I don't know, we was in this park setting or something. And they brought me this, it was a crown. They brought me a crown. This is why I get into the other dreams that I had, the past dreams. It was a crown, and it had happy birthday sky on it. It had happy birthday. Like, they got a custom made and everything. The thing was dope. And the person was like, put it on your head. I ain't putting nothing on my head. Then they was like, I paid all this money to get that. I didn't tell you to get that made. I don't care how much money you paid for it. So, what the person was trying to do, I'm going to do it backwards. What the person was trying to do, because I'm real knowledgeable, I'm filled with a lot of wisdom. So what they want to do, they want to put a spell on my head, literally. So they got the crown, they got it custom made. The thing was dope, it was pretty, it was real pretty. But I wasn't finna put it on my head. Because when people are trying to tamper with your head, like, no, anybody can't do my hair. Can't no anybody get in my head. Because I dream and I see. Not only that, I hear from God. Can't no anybody touch my head. Because people put stuff in your head. You got to be careful with this type of stuff. I don't even know why God got me going this way. People be putting, you know, all them treatments and oils and stuff. Do you know what they putting in that stuff? Do you know what they putting in that stuff? You don't. So, can't no anybody do my hair. That's why I wear a lot of wigs too. Until it's time for me to get my hair done. But it's only 2 people that get in my head. But they try to put that crown on my head because they wanted to put witchcraft on me on my birthday. Now, oftentimes when people become obsessed in that area, it don't have to be romantic. It don't have to be you in a relationship with that person. Some people just naturally obsessed with you. And they'll do anything to get in your presence. So they'll try to put witchcraft on you. Now, this brings me back to the past dream that I had. We was at it was like we was having a bonfire or something. It was an event. I think I was graduating or something. It was something going on. It was some type of graduation or something. But it was something for my birthday. They showered me on my birthday, I know. But everybody was giving me gifts and all of that. But it was one particular person. And I still be saying, God, why you won't show me that person's face? But the dream, it been probably about 2 or 3 years ago now. I couldn't see the person's face. But it seemed like every time that they would shower me, they would come and steal one of my gifts. So every time they would steal a gift, I ain't saying nothing. I'm looking and paying attention, but I couldn't see their face. They would steal the gifts. And they would throw the gifts into the little fire thing. But then every time they throw the gift into the fire, people would bring more gifts. Lord have mercy. It's somebody right now under you. Hey, Nicole, thank you for joining me. It's somebody right now under you. They mad because of how gifted you are. They obsessed with how gifted you are. And they say, well, you know, it should be me. You know, I should be upgraded too. I should be. Those type of people are obsessed. It brings me into that stanza I talked about. Robbing people out of their testimony. I want to read that because it ties in with that as well. But those type of people are obsessed with your life. They want everything that you got. You got to pay attention to stuff like that. If you get a car, if you get a certain car, they go get the same car. Like this stuff real. If you get a house built from the ground, they go get in debt to do the same thing that you did. If you going to go get another degree, they doing the same thing. That is an obsession. And people don't pay attention to that. They would think, oh, well, you know, that person inspired. No, they ain't inspired. They're obsessed. They want your life when they're doing stuff like that. So I put stop robbing people out of their testimony. I really hate when someone makes the story about them. It isn't about you. People like this suffer in major ways with abandonment issues. They can't and they will not let you shine without saying us. This isn't about a group setting. It is about one individual. They're suffering an offense. Offended because God is constantly blessing you without them. So oftentimes people suffer from rejection and abandonment issues in major ways. And they always got to include themselves into something that is victorious to you. They're robbing you out of your testimony. They always got to make it, well, you know, I did this. But we ain't talking about you right now. This ain't about you. This ain't about you. This is about me. We ain't talking about you right now. You gonna have your time to shine. But this isn't about you. That is an obsession. People really be doing this stuff. So they get offended because God is constantly blessing you. If you are highly gifted, the way that you operate, people be trying to kill you. That's why I be hiding. And a lot of stuff that if I share half of the stuff that I do behind the scenes, people be trying to kill me. But I don't share everything on social media. I only share what the Lord tell me to share. Everything else, I keep quiet about it. So this is why I be telling people, y'all need to stop putting everything on social media. Because this is how people get killed. This is how people get robbed. All this stuff. Because people become obsessed even from your pictures. Y'all see that stuff? That's why I be posting this stuff. Like, this stuff just crazy. It gonna be some more parts to this, but this stuff crazy, man. I ain't never seen these people a day in my life. People be blowing my inbox up, texting 1,000 times. I'm not writing you back. Because why is you constantly writing me? I'm not finna write you back. That is an obsession. That's why I hate posting pictures. Y'all just don't know what I be going through. I really hate posting pictures. I be trying to share my beauty with the world, but this stuff be scary. Even on YouTube and Instagram, I say, you know what? I'm just stopping. Last year I stopped posting pictures altogether. I probably start again because the stuff be insane. It be really, really insane. Like, I don't be knowing these people. This stuff be scary. So, back to the dream. Oftentimes, when people are jealous of what it is that you are doing, they'll do everything. They'll try to do everything that you're doing. Everything. And you trying to be blind to the fact that, well, you know, that's just my friend. And now your friend jealous of you. Because why she want to drive the same car you drive? Why she want to work the same job you working? You ain't picking up on that spiritually. Why every time you go get your nails done, she want to go get her nails done? That type of stuff. Us. They ain't letting you have no me time. It's always us. Well, we gonna do this together. We gonna do that together. But did the Lord tell you to do it together? That is an obsession. You have to pay attention to that type of stuff. Most time it don't be the people. The devil will assign these spirits to you to distract you. Yeah, it is in the form of people. And the devil, but we can't blame everything on the devil. You can't blame everything on the devil. Majority of the time, people become obsessed with you, or they become an addict to you because of what they see. Now, yes, the devil do plays a part, but you can't blame everything on the devil. Yes, sometimes the devil do be assigned to come and distract. But majority of the time, people have mental illness. And they blame demonic gestures and say, oh, that's a demon. No, that ain't no demon. You need to go sit on somebody's couch. You need to go get some counseling. You probably need some medicine. So that was over spiritualized everything. So I agree, but then I disagree too. No hard feelings, but you got to look at it from both perspectives. From the logical perspective and the spiritual perspective. Because everything ain't no demon. Some people are really dealing with mental illness. And a person becoming obsessed with your life is a mental illness. They need to go sit on somebody's couch or probably a straitjacket. Yes, destiny swapping too. It sure is. Destiny swapping plays a major part in it. I ain't gonna get too deep in it. I got a video about that. I probably re-upload that as well. Well, praise the Lord. I'm glad that you are enjoying this, Brother Marquis. But, yeah. So, this person in this drink, they was doing everything on my birthday. They wanted me. They throw the event on my birthday. And asked me to come to the event on my birthday. What? Is you cool? Like stuff like that. You want lunch something on my birthday. That is an obsession. They wanted me to fulfill their event on my birthday with my monies, with my time, with my talent, and with my abilities. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Man, people are crazy, man. This is somebody I know. Now, I just thought that they might do it next year. Cause my birthday done passed. So, this stuff was crazy. I was like, man, people are crazy, man. Man, people are crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Alright, let me chop these dreams up so I can really teach this thing. 4, I saw someone I went to school with. This person was handing me a money order and extra money, telling me to pay their rent with the money because they didn't have time. As soon as I gave them the money back, the police came and locked them up for fraud. The money was fake for the whole entire time. Now, with this, people really have an obsession and an addiction to hurt you in so many ways. Oh, that is a thing. That is a real thing. That's a real thing. Where people see that, oh, this person, I hate the way this person do this. This person is always shining on social media. They don't know none of the stuff that you're going through in the background. But they see everything that you're posting on social media. They're paying attention to that type of stuff. Whatever it is. So, they will come up and plot. Now, I think this was last month. I'm still getting that word together as well. I had 2 people that tried to set me up and it backfired. But we gonna talk about it. But that came back to my remembrance. Like all the stuff that they did, it backfired on them. So playing around with this fire, you're gonna be, I'm telling you, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want, playing around with this fire. But they tried it. They tried it, but it backfired. But people are coming to set you up in so many areas. But they don't know the oil that you have on your life. They don't know how anointed you are. They don't know the weight and rank that you carry. So they look and say, oh, well, you know, that girl, she just be smiling and laughing. But I'm a sniper in the spiritual realm. So you can let that fool you if you want to. So people are coming to set you up. This person tried to set me up. They had a money order. All this stuff was fraud. It was fake. So you want to be careful with taking checks from people, taking the money orders, or trying to go handle some business with people. You got to use wisdom in this set time. Because once your hand get on this stuff, your fingerprints is on it. And fingerprints don't lie. Fingerprints does not lie. So they gonna think that you did it. Because your fingerprints was on this stuff. So it's some type of fraud that is going to come with money. Because people do have an obsession for money. They money hungry, greed, all this different types of stuff. And they become an addict. And they doing it the wrong way. A lot of scamming. This is why people do a lot of scamming. So you really got to be careful in that area. Alright? I'm telling you all, this stuff is real. So I think I'm gonna read them stats at the end. Alright, I'm moving along from that. This time it's flying. Layer 5. Be careful with these realtors. This lady called me and she said, I need you to give. She said, I need you to give. She said, I need to give you the key to this property. I said, I didn't purchase anything from you. She said, isn't your birthday in August? I said, yes. She said, I have all of your information. So I met with her to pretend like I was interested. She gave me a bent up key instead of a fresh new key. She changed keys. Now, anytime that, now this was a realtor. I don't know what type of property it was. I don't know if it was a house or a building or whatever. But whoever knew me, specifically knew my birthday and probably knew some other stuff as well concerning me. And they gave her all of my information, pretending like they was me. So the revelation that I got out of that is people are going to do, it's going to be a lot of thievery in that, where people are using your information and hacking in certain things, or doing credit and all that stuff. God bring me back to, y'all remember when I had that dream about the life insurance policy? That dream coming, that video went viral 2 times on YouTube. I was literally on the phone and the person was talking about a life insurance policy, and they was trying to get the woman to sign her name over on the policy. But I kept telling her, don't sign her name over, because it just something ain't right about what they was doing. But they tried to set her up. It didn't work, but they put her name in a life insurance policy and they forged her name. So he brought me back to that. You have to be careful with that type of stuff, because people be using your information to when they got a whole life insurance policy on you and you don't even know it. So you have to really be careful. This was a realtor. Don't know what city, don't know what state, but she said that she needed to give me a key, but I didn't purchase anything. So people are out here getting stuff in folks' names, messing their credit up. You seeing stuff on your credit and like, What the world? I don't even use credit cards. That's why it's good to check your credit as well frequently. Because people can be having stuff in your name and you don't even know it. And you trying to go apply for a house. You trying to go apply for a building for your business. And you can't get none of this stuff because of what's on your credit. So I pretended like I was interested. And she gave me a bit up key. Instead of giving me a fresh new key, she changed keys. So that means that she was in on whatever it was that the person, whoever it was, they was in on it together. They didn't want me to have the fresh new key, but they gave me a bent up key. So they changed the keys. Now, if you look at this spiritually, when God is using you, and whichever way that he's using you, people become obsessed with your gift. Well, I don't have to worry about that with people. With me. Well, I ain't gonna say that they ain't obsessed with what it is that's going on with me, but my gift, no, especially as a prophet, people can't stand me. So oftentimes people be obsessed with your gift, and they try to change whatever it is that God is using through you by giving a bit up key, or giving you the leftovers, or giving you the last part, or whatever. They try to do things like that. They don't want you to have the fresh new key, but the keys that God wants you to have, you gonna get them. So it doesn't matter what people do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how they accompany you. Oftentimes, when people doesn't want you to have anything, that's when God really shows out. Because he knows that, okay, let me show them what I can really do for this person. So you really, really, really want to be careful in that area. All right. The last one. This was a married guy. I have never seen this guy a day in my life. Don't know him from a can of paint. He kept taking his ring off. Every time he saw me, the last time he tried to take it off, it got stuck in his skin. He said, "You look like a doctor. Can you help remove this ring? It hurts." Now, oftentimes, y'all hear me say this all the time, married men is a thorn in my side. I don't know why, but they are really attractive to me. Like, I deal with this stuff every day of my life. Every day. And so, oftentimes, when a married person comes up to you, or, they're trying to talk to you and all of that, there's already a red flag. But with this dream, I didn't know this man. Have never seen him a day in my life. But he kept taking his ring off. And every time he saw me, the last time he tried to take it off, it got stuck in his skin. So, what does that mean? Now, a lot of married men don't wear their rings. When they working, when they out in public, they don't have their ring on at all. I ain't gonna say all of them, but majority of them don't wear their rings. Or if they see something that they like, they're gonna slide their ring off and put it in their pocket. And so oftentimes, if you're not spiritual, this is why I talk about understanding the shift. If you're not spiritual, then you're not going to pick up that this person is married, or this person got somebody. When I'm in a person's presence, I just let them talk. But the whole entire time, God's downloads something in me concerning them. So I'll be picking up like, okay, you got a girlfriend or something, you married or something, to that nature. And they're, well, how you know that I ain't told you that I'm married? So they'll end up telling on themselves. But this dream was very, very interesting because this man kept taking his ring off every time he saw me. But the last time he tried to take it off, it got stuck in his skin. So God was punishing him for whatever it was that he was trying to do as of outside of his marriage. And then he asks, you look like a doctor. Can you help me remove the ring? It hurts. But then and again, he could have did that on purpose to get me to doctor on him. So I looked at that in both angles. So once they see, oh, I can't get that person attention, ain't they trifling? Real trifling. Once they see they can't get the person attention, they become obsessed. And I be like, God, yo, I don't understand. Like, married men be really, really after me. Like, this stuff be scary. I just be like, I don't understand. I don't know what it is. I can't say it's the oil. I can say that it's the oil on my life and the anointing. I can't say that, but I'm pretty too. So, and I dress. So it's a combination of all of it. So when people are doing things like this, they hiding them rings and they taking them rings off their fingers and stuff like that. They have grown bored at home, so they looking for a fantasy. That's just how it go. When people are married and they go cheat and all that stuff, that person is a fantasy. Because half of the time they ain't gonna leave their husband or their wife. Now sometimes they do, and they marry the side chick and the side man, and it do works. They be together for 20 plus years and all that stuff sometimes, but sometimes that stuff don't work. They go back home because now they saying, I can't keep up with this side chick lifestyle. They taking all the money. You got the pay to lay. So they getting tired of paying. So they go on back home. And it can be the same way with a man. If a man is messing with a married woman, they got to pay to lay. So they gonna get tired of it. Because it's draining their finances. And so the person in the house saying, well, where all this money going? You know, bank account getting dried up. That's because they doing stuff outside of the house. So when people have an obsession in that area, it becomes an addiction. So they getting high off this side chick or this side guy because the woman or the man ain't doing it at home. Or they just stopped all together. So now they're going outside. That's why a lot of married men stay in strip clubs. Because that is a fantasy. They ain't seeing nothing clapping at home. So they're going to go to the strip club. Or they're going to go to a club. I don't know. But when you are married, you got to make sure that you are doing what is necessary to keep that man at home or that woman. Because if you don't, they're going to be out with somebody else. All right. So those are all the layers. Well, let me get into these notes. I got about 9 minutes. I believe I can teach it in 9 minutes. What y'all think? So obsession is not the exact thing as an addiction, but it's closely linked. Obsession means having unwanted and repeated thoughts, while the addiction is a physical or mental dependence. So this person becomes in habit. So whatever they got to do to get in your presence, they're going to do it. That's how you know that they are an addict. Now sometimes they're going to try to hide and act like, well, you know, that person don't mean nothing to me, but they checking everything on your social media. They have an obsession for you. They making fake pages and all this stuff because they're trying to keep up with you. So when people have an addiction for you or an obsession, instead of them admit that, well, you know, I'm infatuated with you. You know, I like you more than I should, and you know, something ain't right. They're not going to do that. But instead of them, but instead of them confessing that, you know, I think it's something, I think it's something wrong with me. But they ain't gonna say that because they gonna, I guess because they gonna think that, I guess they gonna think that you gonna run them off or so, I don't know. But when you feel like you're becoming obsessed or an addict, you got to voice that stuff. It can be really, really scary for real. It can. I know that's right, Sister Mache. I'm gonna teach this thing. But I don't know. I'm different. I'm real affectionate. And baby, when I'm on you, I'm on you. Like right on rice. But I know how to pull up off you. I know how to do it. I know how to do that. So they'll be like, dang, she ain't like she obsessed with me, but then I ain't heard from her about 4 weeks. So I know how to control. So, but if you feel as if, okay, I feel like I'm becoming obsessed with this person, or I'm becoming an addict, you need to voice it. Hey Johnson, thank you for joining me. You need to voice what it is, so you won't run that person off when you start getting like that. Now, I'm not a clingy person. I'm not like that. I don't like people smothering me. I don't like that. But when it's time for me to be affectionate, oh baby, it's up. So I'm not clingy. I'm not sticking to you like no leech and all that stuff, because I love my me time and all that stuff. It brings me back to being prophetic and understanding the shift. Because when the Lord say get up off you, I'm going to be gone. Point blank period. You ain't going to hear from me. So that's just me doing what the Lord is telling me to do. You have to understand your shift in that area. But you know, if you obsessed with somebody and you like them and all that stuff, you know, just voice it. Just voice and say, man, you know, I really, really like you. You know, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I'm real bold. I really, really like you. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. But well, we gonna see what's gonna happen. So, you know, when you really like somebody, you be all about them. That's just how it goes. But it doesn't mean that you are obsessed with the person. So you just got the voice if you feel like, okay, you know, it's something strange about what I'm doing with you. You have to voice it so you won't scare that person off. So they can know that, okay, this person probably be a little infatuated with me. I need to calm down and slow down with whatever it is that I'm doing, so they won't be like that. But like I said, most people ain't gonna voice it, because they scared that they're gonna run the person out. So I'm gonna read these stats, then I'm getting up off here. Let me see. So when I was doing couch therapy, I think it was Tuesday. I mean, not Tuesday. I think it was Wednesday. I literally had an open vision. And I was going to do it on the live. The Lord said, no, keep on teaching. But I did make a stats. I said, as I was live, God showed me open vision of a prophet, copy notes on what it was I was speaking on with couch therapy. But let me bop the devil in the head. You can never be me. This individual is either going to preach, go live, or make a post off something that was original. The stalking energy, the stalking energy is really going on. So someone also got on there and clicked off because they didn't want me to know that they was on. But when I got off, eyes was everywhere. And I said, I hope I scared you too. So when I was going live, I think it was Wednesday. I'm not sure. It was either Monday or Wednesday. I had an open vision of a prophet copying notes. So people be getting on here and they be stealing everything. Well, at least trying to steal. But God showed me the open vision just plain as day. And then somebody was on here. They hurry up and clicked off. I couldn't see the profile, but they hurry up and clicked off. I saw that too. So oftentimes people are Nicodemus at night. They're obsessed with how the Lord uses you again. They become an addict to everything that you do. But they don't want you to see that you know that is a part of all this stuff. Meaning if they got the lie and say, well, you know, I'm getting off social media for an amount of time, but they still watch stuff that you doing. God's showing it to you in the spiritual realm. That type of stuff. Well, if you're getting off social media like you saying you is, what you started watching my page for? Like I be seeing stuff in the spiritual realm. I just don't say nothing. I be trying to just be laid back with that type of stuff, because some people just be lying for no apparent reason. But this prophet was copying notes. I don't know why these prophets be bothering me. I'm gonna start calling names. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Y'all sure enough ain't gonna like me. I be trying to be integral. I'm serious, y'all. I be trying to be integral. I be trying to save people, but I'm so tired of dreaming about people that I know in these areas. I'm telling you all, I'm gonna start putting names. I'm gonna start saying names, and y'all really ain't gonna like me. I already got 3 prophets that blocked me already. I'm waiting on the next one. Because, boy, on my last page, I had about 20 prophets that blocked me. And I wasn't even friends with them. Y'all all on my page. What you watching my page for? Be getting scratched up. So, I be trying to do stuff in decency and order. But God don't be showing me this stuff for nothing. He don't show me this stuff for nothing. I be minding my own business. I was laughing in my head. I was like, okay, here we go again. Here we go again. Somebody always trying to steal something that I'm doing. That's an obsession. I ain't never seen nothing like it. So, when you have ministries and you have stuff that is authentic, you're going to always have somebody that tries to copy everything that you do. Everything that you do. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I don't be bothering people. The folks showing up be messing with me. All right. Okay, I did this. Oh, I'm sure nothing to make y'all mad with this status. I'm ready to go out with it, bang and get off here. Alright. I said, if you are a magnet to your audience, why are you doing all the work? You automatically draw the followers and the crowd. I never tell people to subscribe, like, comment, share, none of that. They automatically do it. I'm very resourceful. So why do I need to push my brand, my channel, my business, my books harder than I should? No, ma'am, no, sir. This is what many mess up at. You become an addict. You become an addict to a wishy-washy generation. 1 minute they like you, the next minute they don't. Well, I don't have to worry about people sharing anything of mine because half of the time, because I don't get on social media lying. I tell the truth. The truth is always stagnant, while a lie can spread faster than a virus. I'm going to stop right there. If you are a magnet to your audience, why are you doing all the work? I just ain't doing it. If you're going to subscribe to the channel, you're going to subscribe. If you're going to like anything on Facebook, you're going to do it. If it's something on Instagram that you get like, you're going to look at it and like it or whatever. Because views don't lie. If you are a magnet to your audience, you are the resourceful one. So why are you doing all that hard work? I'm not doing it. When you see me posting my business and stuff, that's because the season is here. Now, before I started doing couch therapy, I talked about couch therapy for 2 to 3 months straight. Couch therapy is here. I ain't posting no more flyers and all that stuff because I'm already doing it. iScribe is next. So, yes, you're going to see me posting it, and I'm going to take it down, post it, take it down, because that's what I do. When December get here, I'm going to be ghost. I ain't going to be on this stuff, probably going live and all that stuff, because I'm going to be working. So, if you are a magnet to your audience, why are you doing all the work? If you say God called you to social media, because y'all love saying that stuff. I ain't never heard no foolishness like that. God ain't called you to no social media. Just be lying. You ain't no Christian content creator. Y'all make up anything. Obsession. Addiction. God ain't called you to no social media. Just say God using you. That's all. But if you are a magnet to your audience, why are you doing all the work, sweetheart? I just ain't doing it. I done started YouTube over 3 or 4 times. The Lord made me start over from scratch again. I don't be caring if you don't subscribe. If you do, I don't care. I do not care. I'm still gonna post my videos. Because eyes be everywhere. I do not care. Eventually you're gonna get on the train or you're gonna be mad. So when you become an addict to a wishy-washy generation, that means that you begging, and I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. One minute they like you, the next minute they don't. That's because they have an obsession for what somebody else can bring to their business. I built all my stuff behind the scenes. I have loyal clientele. I don't have to get on social media doing that's extra. I don't have to do all of that. The same people that been working with me for years still pouring into my business. Even when I ain't doing nothing, they still sow seeds. Just like couch therapy is laid to rest, people still sow seeds. It ain't even up like that. So, you don't have to be getting on here doing all that extra stuff. But people are money hungry. It brings me back to their dream. They're money hungry. They're greed for money. You have to remember, you are the money. You don't have to go chasing after. I ain't chasing after no bag. The money gonna chase me. I am the money. When your energy is magnetic, money chases you down. Money is like a magnet to me. So, when you're on this stuff and you pushing your brand so hard, I just ain't doing it. Because when God give you something, he's going to supply. He's going to fund. He going to send... God so bad, he probably send somebody write a $10,000 check for your business one day. You just never know. you just never know. You never know what God is going to do. So, that is an obsession. All of that flows into obsessions and addictions. People be on this stuff all day, every day, pushing their brain. I don't see how y'all do that. I just don't have enough time in a day to do this stuff. I just don't have time. If I'm not led by the Holy Spirit to do it, I ain't doing it. Point blank, period. Because I don't have time to be doing all this stuff no way. I do so much stuff behind the scenes. It's ridiculous. My hands be in everything. So, I don't even have time for social media like that. So, the rest of it says, you're messing up when you're learning and studying your audience. YouTube and Instagram tell you what days people are most visible. Guess what? I don't even post on the days. YouTube and Instagram tell you what days people are most visible. I post on the opposite days. I don't post when they're visible. Because I don't need all that traffic. I don't want all that stuff. I'm different. The reason why they tell you what days that people are visible, so they can run the algorithm up. That's just how social media is. But when they let me know, well, you know, they gonna be on here on this day. They gonna be here. I don't even post on them days. I post on the opposite day. You see it or you don't. Whoever it reached, that's who it's for. So I don't go over and beyond. Whoever it reached, that's who it's for. So how you saying you want to be a millionaire, but you working harder to gain 6 figures? Make it make sense. Everything is a scam, especially for money. But don't become a scammer along the way. And that's what people are doing. They're becoming a scammer along the way. You're obsessed and addicted to getting money. What do you have in your hand? What has God blessed you with? If you called to be a millionaire, if you was prophesied to be a millionaire, you are the money. That means that you are resourceful. You get all of your information from the source, which is God. You're getting your strategies. You're getting your downloads. God's telling you to shift your business and all that. And your business took off. And you ain't worked that business for a whole week. And you done made probably more than your goal. You don't have to get on this stuff begging. People going to support who they want to support anyways. So you need to ask yourself, if you are a magnet to your audience, why are you doing all the work? I just ain't doing it. You automatically draw the crowd. You automatically draw the following. Some people be friends with you to be nosy. Some people be friends with you to be Nicodemus at night. Some people be friends with you to be monitoring spirits. I got almost 600 friends. And ain't no action and traffic going on because I got a lot of monitoring spirits. I ain't scared of y'all. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. So some people just add because they are addict and they are obsessed. Now clock that T. Now I'm wrapping this up with the last post. Then I'm getting up off here. So why people, men and women, don't think too fond of me? These are 5 signs. Emotional intelligence. People hate when you have emotional intelligence. I know how to structure my emotions. You don't have to wonder if I'm sad or crying about you. And when you see me, there's always a smile. Now you're probably saying, well, what does these signs have to do with obsession and addiction? It has a lot. Because a lot of people doesn't have emotional intelligence. So they become an addict to something that is fake. An addict or obsessed with something that isn't real. So they don't know how to structure their emotions. They don't have emotional intelligence. So no, people don't like you when you are emotionally intelligent. Because you're not weak-minded. You have your own brain. Can't nobody brainwash you. Oftentimes, when you have emotional intelligence, people ain't gonna want to deal with you no way. They ain't gonna want to talk to you no way. Because you're gonna be picking up stuff just like that. But if you were weak in the mind, you emotional all the time, they're gonna prey on it. So you got to learn how to structure your emotions to see when people are becoming obsessed, to see when they are becoming an addict to you. 2, wisdom. People don't like when you are wise. You can't get anything over me. You can't get anything over a person with wisdom. You can get yourself hurt though. A person with wisdom will run circles around you. People ain't gonna like you when you are wise. They mad because you figured it out first. They try to beat you to the punch. Want to be first at everything. I ain't never seen nothing like it. What? Well, why you mad? Why you mad? Because God gave me a better strategy than you. I did just stuff just dumb. I ain't never said nothing like it. When you have wisdom, you can't even share your wisdom with a lot of people because they're gonna look at you as a threat. People are not going to be fond of you when you're operating in wisdom. They gonna say she thinks she all that and she thinks she know everything. I don't think nothing you thinking it. That came out your mouth. You mad because I'm clever. And you mad because I'm smart. You need to take that up with the Lord. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So they're going to be mad. They're not going to be fond of you because you are wise. I've been filled with wisdom ever since I was a little girl. I was saying full sentences at 2 years old, 1 year old. And they knew then that I was going to be a force to be reckoned with. Because what 1 year old is talking in full sentences like paragraphs. That's how I used to talk when I was 1 and 2 years old. When I was 16, I was talking like I was 20 and 25. When I would have conversations with older people, they'd be like, how old you is? 16. They taking advice from me at 20 and 25 years old. So wisdom been wrapped around my life all my life. So people are going to see you as a threat, but they also going to become an addict to your wisdom and obsess to try to use you to do things that God didn't tell you to do. 3. I dream and see. I see it before it happens. That's why people don't like me either. You can't play the player, but you surely can get played. When you dream and see, that sure enough ain't gonna like you. They ain't gonna think nothing funny. They ain't gonna want to be bothered with you because you're seeing it before it happened. So if a person is obsessed and they have an addiction, they're gonna probably bag back when you dream and see. Because God's going to show you everything concerning this person. Now, if you're doing right, God ain't going to show you these things. If you're doing right, he ain't going to show you stuff that people are doing. And when you're doing wrong, he going to be weighing you out. Because he needs you to be ahead of the game. He needs you to be up on game when these people are trying to do stuff that they ain't got no business. When you dream and see, this keep you from marrying the wrong person. This keep you from going into business with the wrong person. This keep you from making hasty decisions. This keep you from doing stuff that is outside the will of God because you saw it before it happened. Now, sometimes when God give you dreams, it is to warn you. If these things are happening to you in a dream, it's to warn you. Now, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. Now, I used to test God gangster when I really start dreaming. And I'll see something happening in a dream and I go do it. But I did that one time. And God whooped me regular. And I faced the consequences and I got through it and I never did it again. So sometimes when God is showing you things that is happening to you, he's forewarning you that if you get into this, your life is going to be in shambles. If this happens, your life is going to be in shambles. It's some dreams that I had back here. Y'all remember when I was doing wedding complication? It was about the proposal dreams. And I talked about the ex-lovers that was coming back all along, proposed to me in a dream. Now, if I would have married one of them, God had already showed it to me. If I would have married one of them, my life would have been in shambles. Because I didn't obey what I saw. So people are not going to be fond of you. My dream life is very, very accurate. You can bet all your money in the bank. If I see it, it's going to come to pass. So, if you're doing right, you don't have to worry about God showing people nothing. But if you doing wrong, he's going to warn you. All right? 4, I study your mind. This is why people don't like me either. One wrong word, and I got 10 questions about what you said. Because I'm trying to see, why in the world did you say that? What made you say that word? I'm studying your brain to see why in the world did that come out of your mouth. What made that come out of you? I'm going to have a lot of questions. Because one word can vex your spirit. And you like, wait a minute. Why did you say that? So people not gonna be too fond of you. When you dissect words and all that stuff, I'm a word nerd. So if I pick up one word in the sentence and it don't sound right and it do something to my spirit, I got to call it out. Because what are you insinuating? What you trying to say? I need you to explain a little more. So all of that wraps around addictions and obsession as well. What people try to play on your mental state, some you ain't gonna never do with me. They try to play on your mental state and play on your brain and play in your face with words. You ain't gonna be able to do that with me. So they would try to use your words against you. So they studying your words and you studying their mind. There's going to be a whole bunch of fire. A whole bunch of fire. Because you done met your match now. Playing with me. They try to study your words. But you studying their brain. How you going to try to use my words against me? Do you know who you talking to? I am the mind doctor. Do you know who you are messing with? Apparently you don't know. You're about to mess around and find out. So when you're studying their mind and you hear one wrong word, that's when you begin to go in. All right. The last one. Bossed up on everybody. You'll never see me sweat, but you will see me dressed. And this naturally and spiritually. They're not going to think too fond of you when you're bossed up. Because they don't never see you sweat. I had one person ask me one time, do you ever go through anything? I laughed. Because heck yeah, I go through stuff. I'm a human being just like you. If not 10 times worse. People really be asking you stuff like that. Do you go through anything? Yeah, I go through stuff just like you go through stuff. But you ain't gonna see me sweat. You ain't gonna see all the stuff that I'm going through, but you're gonna see a powerhouse. You most definitely gonna see that. And you most certainly gonna see me putting it on. So, people don't like these things. They're not going to be fond of you. When they see you dressed up and you got it put on and all that stuff, people don't be liking that stuff. They be hating. I ain't never seen nothing like it. If you want some dressing tips, I'll give you some dressing tips. You ain't got to be no hater. I'll tell you how to dress. But people be so obsessed with the way you look that they can't stand you. I ain't never seen nothing like it. People are crazy. They be frowning up at your pictures. I be seeing y'all in the spiritual realm. I be cleaned on. I know. They be frowned up all. I can't stand her. She make me sick when she be posting these pictures. That's why I be posting them. And I clock that, see. They'll be liking it. I like what she got on, but I ain't gonna like her picture. I be hearing y'all in the spiritual realm. How she come up with that combination? I could have did that. Well, if you could have did, go ahead and post your pictures. I ain't gonna be jealous. I might share it. Woo, child. Let me get up off here. I will see you guys tomorrow for Prophetic Revisit. Clock 13. Woo! I don't know why. I'll probably be on here in the wee hours. I don't know. Because I've been stirred up all week. I don't know. We're going to see what the Lord going to do. But I am going to be on here because Saturdays is for Prophetic Revisits. He's having me to share a lot of different things and stuff that I shared last year and the year before and all of that. So, grace and peace to you all. I pray that this video has helped you. Next month, we are going to be doing 40 days for dreamers and seers. I hope y'all ready for all this smoke, baby, because I'll be deeper than the ocean. So, I'm getting my words together for that. Hopefully, I'll be able to go live on YouTube. But if not, I don't know what's going on my Instagram. I don't know. They hating over there. I be trying to go live on both platforms, but they won't let me do it. So, oh well. Just get tired of seeing me. If you get tired, you can just delete or unfollow me. It really doesn't matter. But I got 3 more months to teach. Then I'll be out of you guys' hair. Y'all have a good day. Goodbye.